to the countdown.
Tahniah! Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber Malaysia. Sebuah inisiatif e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Hello. Hi, students. We meet here again. Okay, good evening. Welcome to Pusat Tuisyen Academy YouTuber, a joint venture with e-didik Malaysia and Kelab Guru Malaysia. Berkata PERCUMA selamanya berlaku. Before we proceed, let's begin our session with the repetition of your prayers according to your religion. Okay, how is everyone doing today? I hope that everyone is healthy and safe and ready to proceed with today's class. So now let me introduce myself first. I am Teacher Eileen as your moderator for today. And together with me is our presenter, Teacher Im from College Tingkatan 6 Tapah Perak. And also Cikgu Zana.
Hi.
Okay, for the record, we are now live on Teacher Im channel. So as a sign of support to Teacher Im for the hard work in preparing today's lesson, please subscribe her channel, not forgetting to Cikgu Zana and myself, Teacher Eileen, channel 2. As usual, the lesson will last approximately for 1 hour and the certificate link will be given at the end of this session. So be sure to follow the class up until the end and give your full cooperation in making this session a lively one. I would also like to remind students to use appropriate language and also use appropriate profile picture if you wish to post comments in the chat box. I'm pretty sure all of the students here are excellent students who will uphold a positive classroom environment. Stay focused, and if you have any questions, please write on the chat box and Teacher Im will try to provide you with the answers. So without further ado, please welcome Teacher Im.
Hi. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm Teacher Im and we are going on live on my channel today and we are going to have fun with derivative of inverse trigo. Okay, shall we? Okay, so like usual, I hope you can get your A and you can look at Academy YouTuber for lots and lots of other classes. And we have a special playlist dedicated to you where we have other subjects inside there. And we have one special playlist specially for calculus. Okay, you can check out our playlist, which is in my channel, so you can find everything there. And we have all different teachers having classes for you all throughout the year. Okay, the good thing about online class is you can have it anytime. All right, please share this with your friends, and I will see you for derivatives of inverse trigonometric function. So before I carry on, we will first would like to tell you what actually is inverse trigo. So inverse trigonometric functions is something that you see with all this, okay? This inverse trigonometric function sometimes could be written as arch. The arch of sine, the arch of cos, and the arch of tangent. So if you see it written as so, if you are just like downloaded any PDF books from the internet and you found that you have question like this inside your inside the book, arch of sine, arch of cos, you are actually doing the inverse trigonometric function. It's actually your inverse trigo. Okay, so but you have to remember the inverse trigo, which is the arch of sine, is actually not 1 over sine. It can be proven by looking at the graphs. Okay, if you look at the sine graph, this is your sine graph which you learn in your SEM 1. The 1 over sine is this graph, and then the inverse sine is this graph. See, they are different. Okay, so you have to remember the inverse, okay, -1 sine to the power of -1x is not 1 over sine x. Okay, remember that. Don't make mistake as so. All right. When you are doing inverse trigo, you will have formula list like this. Okay, when during the exam, the STPM exam, you will have formula list like this. Lucky for you, in Malaysia, STPM formulas are given. Okay, formulas are given, and you can find the formulas here. And this one is the product rule and the quotient rules. You have formulas. So the formulas for inverse trigo is actually given. So you have no problem trying to learn how to do the inverse trigo. Okay, so most of the formulas are given, but you have to remember the one given to you is sine x, which is the original formula itself. Inside the question, okay, STPM level, of course, the value of x, most of the time, they will change to fx. So which means they will give you a function, a new function over there. So you need to fill all this value of x with the new function. Okay, so that is only the original function in the formula list. So if you want extra, you need to follow up. Okay, let's go and see what you can have. Okay, I will have equation like this. Just a simple one first. We just learn up the technique on how to fill in the formulas. Okay, so when you get the question, you check. Okay, I have inverse cos. So since the formula list give us in inverse, so I'm not going to use arch, okay, inside any of my examples here, because at the STPM level, we use the inverse. Okay, we actually use the inverse. So I'm not going to use the arch inside the question. So let's do this. Okay, just now I mentioned what we have inside the question, the formula list is only the original cos x and sine inverse cos, inverse tangent. We don't have the fx. So when we do the time, we have to include the fx. So during exam, you do not need to write the formulas out. You just need to remember we need to derive this, because according to the formula, we have to like -1 over square root. This is the original format of the question. Okay, and then we will derive whatever we have for the fx, and we are going to put it at the side. Okay, like what I'm going to do now. Let's have a look. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy whatever according to the formula is this fx. and this fx is exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this formula, whatever they give this function, whatever they give in the function, and I'm going to throw it into the formula. So I just follow up with the equation, -1 over square root 1 minus, and then I have the function, so I'm going to copy it down. Just copy it down, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to derive this function and put it at the side. So -5x cubed, if I derive this, I'm going to get -15x squared. So I will get the derivative of the function and put it at the side. Okay, once everything is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply and make this beautiful. So I will put it in and I make everything perfect. So that's basically the answer. Okay, but what I want you all to know is what is the common mistake that students usually make. Okay, knowing your enemy is good. So you have to know what usually is the mistake that students make when they do inverse derivative of inverse trigo. Can you guess? Can you guess? Tell me, what kind of mistake that commonly will happen when students do the derivative of inverse trigo? Okay, hit the chat box with the answer. Come, tell me, what common mistake do you have? Got any answer? You should know by yourself. Your teacher have taught you this. And what are the usual mistakes that you make when you are doing derivative? Can you tell me? Cikgu Aileen, Cikgu Zana, what kind of mistake usually students make when they do this type of question?
I think must be the F prime there.
The F prime, okay? One of the mistake is the F prime. They forgot to differentiate or they use the wrong formula for when you derive the F prime. Any other mistakes? You should know because you all do make mistake when doing the question, right? There's always one more mistake that students always do. Anybody want to tell me what are the common mistakes that you make? Come on, come on. You must know the basic what mistake. Negative sign? Yeah, okay. You can say that because students sometimes will leave out this negative sign for the cos because you differentiate inverse sign, you don't have the negative, but when you differentiate inverse cos, you have a negative. Yes, good. Sometimes you will forget about the negative. Any more? We don't talk about the formulas. The formulas is in the formula list. So the basic of the formula, you will know. One more mistake that students always make. Come, you tell me. Then you will remember. And when you do this type of question, you won't. I still got 9 more questions behind. So you answer me fast, then we will go on fast. One more. Anybody? If you cannot think of that mistake, means you don't make that mistake. That is very good. Okay, let me tell you. When we mark, we notice that students always forgot the square. That is the major mistake that students always make. They copy down the function and they forgot the square. Okay, this is a major mistake that students always make. The negative and the differentiation, of course, differentiation, especially the derivative, most of the time student will make mistake, especially the function is in maybe quotient, okay? Then they will make mistake. But the major one that always happen is the square. So never forget your squares, okay? Because the function is x squared or fx squared. So you have to remember that, okay? So 3 common mistakes that you always make here. You have to take note during exam. Don't make them and get your A. All right, number 2. Right, let's have a look at this one. When we look at this type of question, always think, what are the formulas that you need? So we have the cos inverse, which is the same like just now. And then we have this. This one is the function with the cube outside. So which means this is a composite function where we need the formulas will be the composite function formula and the cos formula. So these two formula we need. So we set inside our mind, we want composite and we want trigo. Exam, I mentioned already, there is no need for you to write out the formulas, but you have to remember them. Okay, so now we are going to fill in. Okay, go and grab a piece of paper and do the question with me. Then we will learn together. Okay, go try and see. Now we are going to grab this whole thing here and copy down. Just now I mentioned already, you copy down. I prepare the frame first because I don't want to miss the square. Because I know that is always what students make mistakes. So we prepare first, then we won't make mistakes. So we frame up the question, we take whatever we have here and we dump it inside here. So we copy it down. Whole thing, everything, including the cube. Okay, so we copy it down. So next thing is I'm going to use this formula here. I'm going to use this formula here and I'm going to fill in this. Okay, I hope you do together with me because mathematics is all about the working. Okay, it's not about just see and you can understand. So as you go, you progress, you do the working together with me. Okay. While I'm chatting, I'm sure you have already done the derivative. So that is the derivative of this part, the composite using the chain rule. So what I did is the index will come to the front. I copy whatever is inside the bracket. So I copy whatever inside here into the brackets and then index minus 1. So index minus 1. So I get 2 here. And then I will derive whatever is in the bracket and I will put it inside here. Okay, I will derive whatever is inside the bracket here and I will put it inside here, which will give you this formula. Index to the front, copy brackets, index minus 1, derive whatever you have inside the bracket and put inside here. Okay, now I'm done with that. So what I do is I just simplify everything and I will clean up the equation. So I'm done. Okay, so simple. Okay, so what I'm doing is 3 times 16 and then I have my x squared. I copy down. This whole thing I copy it here. Down here, I just copy it. I'm done. There's nothing much I can do. If you feel, teacher, I want to open up this bracket and take away this, can or not? Actually, it's not necessary. You have to remember, whatever we are deriving here, it's not going to be a full question. If you look at your STPM question, okay, if you already look at your partial question, you know most of the question for derivative comes with application. Okay, application. When you talk about the application, means you are going to use whatever you calculate here in some other question. So which means they might give you numbers or they might give you things that you need to fill in at the position of X. Okay, so there's no need to like clean it up too much, except, okay, except I didn't say don't, but there is an exception where sometimes you need to do proving. When you need to do proving, you have to clean up the answer until you get exactly like the question. I will show you afterwards. No worries. Okay, just now I have the bracket outside. Just now I have the brackets together with my function. Now I am going to give you a question where I have the brackets outside of my inverse. Means the brackets is belonging to the whole inverse trigo itself. Okay, so how do I do this question? Again, what is the formulas? I have a sine inverse, so I have to target the sine inverse. And because of this function is with a cube out there, which means I'm going to need the composite function. the chain rule using here again. Okay, so I have the formula for the in composite function, and I have the formula for the sign over there, just in case you could not remember yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prepare the thing. Okay, the composite function belongs to this one because the bracket is outside. Okay, the brackets cube. So it's outside. So it's outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the composite function first. So index to the front, copy the bracket. So I copy whatever is inside the bracket. And then index minus 1. So 3 minus 1, I got 2. So I'm done with the front part. Now the back part means whatever I want to differentiate inside these brackets, I'm going to put it inside the inverse trigo formula. So I prepare the frame first, okay, and then I'm going to fill in the frame. So just now I mentioned already, the fx is exactly the same. So I'm going to copy 5x squared. Don't forget the x squared. Okay, so 5x squared. So I prepare the 5x squared. Then I'm going to derive this 5x squared and I'm going to put here. Okay, so 5x squared, I will get 10x. So I'm going to prepare that and I'm going to put it there. Right? So once that is done, I'm going to clean up the whole thing and that's it. I'm not going to touch it anymore. Okay? Any questions so far? Any question? Question number 3 already. I still got 7 more to go. Is there any question? Looks like okay. Everybody okay? If okay, please put in the chat box okay so that I know that you all are okay. Or if you don't understand or am I too fast, please tell me. Okay, everybody okay?
So far, okay. No question so far.
No question. But is the students okay? If okay, please type in the chat box so that I know that you all are really okay. Because I don't want to be talking to myself and wondering you all okay or not. All right, good. If you are very good, okay, is everybody is okay, is great. So I'm moving on to question number 4. All right. So this question number 4, I have, good. Everybody, thank you for your response. Okay, for this question, I have a trigo and a inverse trigo. So which one come first? Okay, so this one is I need to derive the cos and then I need to derive the inverse sine. Okay, so I need these two formula. One is the cos formula, the cos fx. I hope you remember, derive your cos, okay, is negative sine fx. And when you derive your inverse sine, you have this formula. That's the original formula, right? So you just can get from the formula list. So I prepare that first. Then I'm going to do this. Okay, so when I differentiate cos, according to the formula is negative sine fx. So I have negative sine. And then what's my fx? The fx is whatever I have inside the function. So which is my inverse sine. So I will copy the whole thing inside here. Okay, I'm not going to prepare the box already. So just now I show you the trick already. So I'm going to go straight away. So I'm going to derive this inverse sine. I'm going to derive this inverse sine by following this formula. So I just copy because it's the original one. So I just copy it in. Okay. So very good. Okay, very good. Yu Yi, very good. Tell you, you all understand is good, right? I hope you all can really understand because application question. If I forgot to tell you all, application question usually inverse trigo they love to come out from Maclaurin series. Maclaurin series so far twice already they came out for inverse trigo, okay, which is the chapter behind. All right, so we are not going to talk about Maclaurins today. We will have class on Maclaurins soon after we clear out all the syllabus for derivative and integration. Okay, while I was chatting there, I was expecting you all to clean up that thing. So by the time we finish this, you have to remember, I hope your teacher got teach you that negative sign bracket Sine inverse is actually 1, but it is only 1 for this range. You look at the question, you see the question is say, find the derivative of cos blah 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 where the range is given. So when they give you the range, actually they are telling you, you can use this formula. You can use sine inverse is sine and the sine inverse x is equals to x. So what you are going to do is you're going to change this part over here with the sine inverse. So you are going to change it with the x. Okay, so here the negative will follow. So this sign will change with this formula over here and you will get something like this. Okay, wonderful. So now I can clean up the answer and I will get this. All right, perfect. All right, so now remember, you can skip this step because you say, yeah, teacher, I know already sine inverse for this range is x. So therefore, I can clean up. I straight away want to write like this. Okay, so I can actually skip this step and go to this answer. Okay, very nice. Right, next question that I need to clarify with you. Not always you can use this format, sine inverse x for the question. Okay, why did I say so? Because this only exists for this given range. So if the question gave you this domain, okay, if this one give you this domain, then you can use this clue. If not, you can't. Let me show you. Okay, so what you have here, it only exists for this domain. Okay, this domain. I used the wrong one. Okay, it's not a range, it's a domain. So you use this domain, and if the thing is outside of it, it is not the same. You can press the calculator now and check. If I have inverse sine 1.5, it is not 1.5. If it's the x that they gave you is outside of the domain, then the answer is wrong. So you have to be very careful. Not always you can use this clue. Okay, so since I give you a clue, I also must tell you when you can use that shortcut and the clue. Okay, it works the same for inverse sine. It is alternatable. It is work the same, but the domain are different. If you want to alternate it, inverse sine to sine, the domain is from negative pi over 2 to pi. If they give you the x which is outside from this domain, you can't use. I have proof here. You can press the calculator and you can see that if it is in between the domain, the values are in between the domain, then you can use this shortcut. If not, you cannot use. Okay? Now, this is for sine. It works the same for cos inverse, tangent inverse. It works the same, but the domain is different. So when you read the question that time, you really have to check which one is usable. Let me show you one example. Okay, if you need this formula, you can screenshot your the screen, or you can come back to my video again and look at it again. All right. So while you are screenshotting and making down your notes, we will take a break. We will take a break first, and then I will come back with the next question. Or maybe you can check out the next question. Okay, that's the next question. Maybe you can do it first while the advertisement is on. Let's see some.
Semua sekolah ditutup hingga cuti akhir tahun 17 Disember 2020. Anda tak cukup bahan? Tak ada rujukan? Tak faham? Anda nak tuition tapi PKP? Jangan risau, kami di Akademi YouTuber dengan kerjasama Kelab Guru Malaysia dan e-didik Malaysia mengadakan kelas tuition online. Semua peringkat ada, semuanya secara percuma. Video PDPC pun ada. Apa ditunggu lagi? Layari www.academyyoutuber.com. Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber.
We are back. So have you tried the question? You see, I have the clue there, right? So I have sine, inverse, and sine. So what will happen? Well, according to the clue, we are supposed to get like this. But I want to ask you, is this correct? Is this correct? If yes, you put inside the chat box yes. If no, please give me a reason why. So if it is correct, I won't ask you is correct or not. So if you feel that this is correct, say yes. If you feel that it is wrong, say wrong. Inside the chat box, I want to see whether you understand the concept or not. Come on, come on. Yes, is that working correct or is that working wrong? Anybody? Come on. I need to know whether you understand the concept or not. Wrong, okay? Hao Sing say wrong. Anybody else? Only one person? No? Jinji also say no. Anybody else? No. Okay. No, you are right. It is wrong. Why is it wrong? Is there any clue why it is wrong? Any clue at all? Can you give me some clue? Are we going to use UV? Careful. This is not a UV question. A UV question is two different functions. This is a trigo, and inside the trigo got another function. Okay? Yes, one of the, wow, good. You all are great. One of the reason is inside the question did not give you a range. Okay? Did not give you a range. And second clue that it cannot be so simple is you have 5 marks there. This one only like 2 steps, you get 5 marks. Impossible. Yes, one of the clue is number 1, it does not have a range. Number 2, the marks is 5 marks. So impossible this 5 marks can give you 2 steps. Very good. You understand the concept already. Let's move on to the working. So what you should do, this is the trigo, inverse trigo and a sine. Okay, so we have 2 formulas that we need to apply. Firstly, we have the inverse trigo formula, and secondly, we have the function itself. So we have 2, the inverse trigo and the function which is sine x. So I differentiate sine x, which is the original. So I will get cos x. Okay, so I prepare this. Okay, now I want to fill into the formulas. All right, so I will do the inverse of this inverse sine, so which will give me this formula. So I will fill in 1 over. So I just follow the formula, 1 over square root 1 minus function. So what's the function? The function is sine x. The function is sine x. So I will bring the sine x down. Okay, I will bring the sine x down and I will differentiate this because I need to differentiate the function and put at the side. So I'm going to differentiate sine x. So sine x is this one. I'm going to differentiate this one and put the answer here. Okay, very good. So now I have to remember one thing. Sine x to the power squared. Sine x squared means this sine over here has a square. Okay, so which means I can apply this formula into my question. So I have sine squared x plus cos squared x plus cos squared x equals to 1. I can apply this and get 1 minus sine squared x. Okay, so I'm going to change this part over here, 1 minus sine squared x, to this part here. Okay, I'm going to deal with that first. I got cos square root of cos squared x. Well, what's next? Tell me, what's next? If you get this square root of cos squared x, what are you going to do next? Chat box, come on, tell me the answer. What might be the answer for this question? Come on, come on, come on. You got square root of cos squared x. There should be an answer there already. Anybody? What should I do next? The next step. Anybody want to try? And see whether you understand or not. You got the square root of cos squared x. Yes? Got answer? Anybody for me? Factorize? All right. Some of you say factorize. Become 1. Okay. Anybody else want to try? Good try, Jiahao. Good try. Anybody else want to try? Come on, come on. I need to know whether you understand the concept of trigonometry, because trigonometry is SEM 1, okay? Only Jiahao only got answer. How about the rest? Hey, come on. You got 16 of you here. Please go and tell your friends about me. I type all this for 16 of you. Yeah, 16 is good. Come on, come on. Tell me what's going to be next. The next thing that you are going to do, is it like this? You get 1. Oh, I get the same answer with just now. Oh, is it correct? Is this correct? You have to know, is this correct? I have the same answer. Come on, come on. Is this correct? If it is correct, you feel that this is correct, hit the check box. If you feel it is wrong, hit the check box, because you need to know the concept of trigonometry to be able to answer this question, because the range is not given, so you cannot use the clue just now, but you have to use the concept of inverse. You have to use the concept of trigonometry. So is that correct? If yes, you say yes. If no, you say no. I want to see how many understand the concept. Come on, hit the chat box. Yes or no? Because Chaya said it becomes 1. So the answer is yes or no. Come on, you can do this. I'm sure you did not forget your SEM 1 trigonometry yet. Come on, yes or no? Come on, come on. I still got 5 more questions to go. Come on. The good ones are all behind, like usual. Yes? 1 yes? Anybody else going to answer yes or no? Don't be scared. Don't worry. Okay, Jinji say yes. Anybody else? Aina say yes. Well, babes. Oh, my dear darling students. You have to remember a square root without, okay? All my dearest student, trigonometry. Do you remember what will happen when you have a square root? What will happen when you have a square root? What are you supposed to do? Since Form 4 at Maths, your teacher tells you when you have a square root, what you should do. Come on. You have to understand the concept to be able. I got a lot of questions behind. Still got 5 more questions. Come on, you got to do this fast. The answer is not correct. Conjugate, square root. Square root, what are you supposed to do when you have a square root? Come on, square root of 4. What's the answer? I give you a clue there. Square root of 4, what's the answer? Plus, minus. So, yes, Tolly Yip. Okay, plus, minus, you are supposed, when you have a square root, you are supposed to have plus, minus. Yes, good. But then, in trigonometry, okay, in trigonometry, I'm going to go along. We don't write plus minus. We write modulus. Why do we write modulus? Because, okay, cos function have positive area and negative area. Okay, so if you remember your cos graph, that's the concept of trigonometry which you learn in your from SEM 1. When you have your cos graph, you actually have a positive area of the graph and you have the negative area of the graph. So if you have the positive area and the negative area, we don't write plus minus. Why? Because we don't want to fix inside our brain plus minus. But if you have square root of 4, we write plus minus. But when we have trigonometry, we do not know whether it's a positive trigo or a negative trigo. So we use the concept of trigonometry. We put a modulus. Okay, understand? Remember that. See, I always give you super good clue for STPM. So remember to share my video with all your friends. Okay, so that if they don't know, now they know. Okay, now I have my modulus. You have to remember, for any x, you have a modulus, you actually have the position for bigger than and less than. So actually it is same like you have plus minus, okay, same like what just now Soliyap say, you have plus minus, but for trigonometry concept, we don't call it plus minus until we use the range. So we say when cos is on the positive side, x is bigger than 0, then we say it is positive. And when cos is at the less than 0, we say that the cos is negative. We didn't straight away write plus minus for the trigo because using the concept of trigonometry, we have to know trigo, that is the positive side of the trigo at certain range, and at the certain another range, the trigo is negative. So you have to remember that because that is from your SEM 1. Okay, is it good? Do you understand already? If yes, please tell me yes in the chat box. If not, I will explain again. Remember, trigo, sine, cos, tangent, or even x, you have to tell them where is the range. Okay, you have to tell them where is the range. And when the range is positive, then you use the positive one. When the range is negative, you use the negative one. And you will make use of this same concept when you learn in SEM 1, where you have the modulus. Okay, good? Good? Clue? Okay, so make sure if you next time you see a square root when you do your derivative, make sure you have the range in your mind so that you can apply 2 different answers that's to get your full marks. If not, you only will have half the marks. Okay, right, let's go on to the next question. Okay, now this next question is basically I'm going to enter the application already. Okay, so the application question I got for the application question, they will usually ask you to prove, okay, or they will ask you to do the second derivative, or they will ask you to do all the others application question, gradient, tangent, equation of normal, maximum, minimum, etc., etc. Okay, so let's do this proving question first. Now, before we start, like usual, we have to check out what are the formulas we need. So for this case, I have inverse sign. So of course, I will need the inverse sign. I have x and square root. So which means I am going to need to do x and something, means it is a UV. So I need to do UV and I have a composite. There are three things here. So I have to set in properly. So what I'm going to do now is I set in my square root to become a composite function, and then I prepare the formulas. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do the trigo. Next thing, I have a UV, x times u is x, v is this composite function here, and then I'm going to do the composite function. Okay, I got three things I need to do. You want to try? If you are watching this, rewind, you pause the video and you do. But of course, now I can't wait for you to do the question. So we will finish this like so. Okay, so what actually happened? This trigo belongs to here. So I just apply this formula. If they have some function there, then I need to derive the function and put inside here. But for this question, don't have. So this is UV. So copy U, derive V, copy V, derive U. So I copy my U is X. I derive my V. So I'm going to derive this by using this composite function formula. So index to the front, copy whatever inside the bracket, index minus 1. So I have negative 1 over 2 here. Finish already, I need to derive because the function formula for composite say derive the bracket and put at the side. So I get negative 2x, I put here. Okay, U, V done. The second part is plus, so I have a plus here. Then I need to copy my V, so I just take the whole thing here and I copy and I derive my U. So U is just X, I will put it at the side. Okay, so if you are afraid that you make mistakes, so you just do a sketch, a rough sketch at the side of your paper. Okay, so no problem. So if you are confident, then you straight away one shot you can hit, as long as you get all the formulas correct. Okay, I'm done with the formula, so I just give you a clue. So what I use, so for this one, I use the UV, the product rule formula. And then for this part here, I use the composite function formula. Okay, that's done. Okay, next thing is I need to beautify it. So what I have is 1 over, this one I will copy down. This negative I will bring down. 1 over 2 and 2 will disappear. And then this x and this x over here, these two parts, this one and this one will give you the x squared. Okay, this one behind here will become 1 over 2 will become the square root. Okay, it looks like this. Oh, well, not yet. So you need to do more. So here I have two denominators which are the same. So what I have is I need to combine already. So I take this and this, I combine. So 1 minus x squared. So I have it nicely. But then, oh dear. According to my question, I have 2 square root 1 minus x. So I only have one side. How come I have this big chunk over here? I need to clear that. So think, what should I do to get rid of this? Okay, I move on because time is limited. I only have 1 hour. They only give me 1 hour. So what I did here is just like what we do like this. If let's say I have 1 over square root of 2, I need to multiply this with square root of 2 and square root of 2. I want to get the square root to the top because I only have square root on top. I don't have a denominator here. So what I do is I use this concept. I take 1 over square root of 2, I multiply with 1. Square root of 2 divided by square root of 2 is actually 1. So same concept I'm going to use here. I want to get rid of this square root over here. So I take the same. This is not the same as conjugate, okay? Conjugate is different, so don't get confused. This is just multiply with 1. This is not conjugate, eh? So it is just multiply then with 1, which means I still carry the same symbol. If conjugate is different. Okay, so this is not conjugate. This is, I want to get rid of the denominator. Okay, I want to get rid of the square root at the denominator, like what I did for this part over here. Okay, so same concept. The 2, like 2 square root of 2 times together, I will get 2. So this and this, I will get the square root, this one. And then the top portion is this, I just copy. This portion, I just copy. Only I will get rid of the square root at the denominator. This side, I still copy. Okay, then I will notice, oh, they are the same, they are the same. Cut it away, but don't cut. You cut means you don't want that step. So don't cut that way. So that will give you the same already. So you have square root 1 minus x. You got 2 of them. So you can clean your working. So you got 2 square root 1 minus x squared. So you will finish the question and you will write proven. Why? Because they ask you to prove. Okay, so you will write proven. Everything okay? Right, I hope you understand. So here for this side, you can skip because you know already square root, like square root of 2 times square root of 2, you get 2. So this one times this one is this one. You can actually clear with the top. So you can actually skip this step if you want during exam. Okay, so but if you're still learning, I suggest you write it out so that you remember, you can know what concept or what formulas or what clue did I use to solve the question. Okay, any problem? If no, I will continue. I still got 10 minutes, but I still got 3 more questions to go. Okay, another type of question is this type. This type of proving question, or they ask you to show something exists. This type of question, I have to be very careful. Now, remember, in STPM, I'm sure your teacher already told you, you cannot find dy dx and then find d squared y and then combine, put them together like this, and then you say equals to 0. Yay, I get the answer I show already. No, you cannot do that. Okay, you cannot do dy dx and then do until d squared y over dx squared and then put them together inside this equation. Means you write the answer 2x minus 1 and then put the answer you find for dx squared, dy over dx squared, and then plus y times that one. You cannot do like this. You have to go one straight. You cannot do the substituting. In Form 5, you can do the substituting technique. In matriculation, you can use the substituting technique, but in Form 6, STPM, you cannot do that. Remember. Okay, so how do I solve this question? Okay, let's look at this. Ln y and tangent. So I need 2 formulas. I need the ln formulas and I need the tangent formula. So I prepare first. Exam the time, there's no need to do so. I just want to show you. Okay, when you differentiate your ln, I have 1 over fx and the function. For this case, the function is y. This is implicit. So you have to tell the pemeriksaan, you have to tell the examiner, you are differentiating implicitly with respect to x. You know already your differentiation implicit can do with respect to y, but in Form 6, we do implicit to with respect to x. So we are going to write ln 1 over y, follow the formula, and then because of differentiating the y, you have dy dx at the side. Differentiating the tangent, you have this formula, so you have 1 over 1 plus x squared. It's ready. So I will do a mark there so that you know which formula I use for each of them. So this side I use the ln, this side I use the trigo. Okay, I'm done with that. So now I want to do the proving. So what I'm going to do is, here if you see, if you do the derivative for this one, uv, you will not see, you will see fraction everywhere and you will see a lot of y. Okay, but here if you look at the question, I have something like this. I have a multiply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to readjust my equation so that I have something with multiply. Okay, so now I have with the multiply already. So I'm going to use the product rule. the U and the V in the product rule, and I'm going to hit this. Okay, I'm not going to explain that. So you can see, copy U, differentiate V, but the V is D squared Y. So I have here, and then copy the Y and differentiate inside here, I get 2x. Differentiating Y, I get 1. Because of this Y, I have dy dx. This is implicit. Okay, so now it looks almost the same, but it's still not the same. You remember, you cannot adjust and put in. So we have to do from here. Okay, so what am I supposed to do next so that I can get exactly the same? So what I'm going to do is I need to change things. Okay, so I readjust and I factorize out my dy dx here. So I will get my dy dx. I'm going a bit fast. Bear with me. You can rewatch. If you cannot catch up, you can rewatch this. Right, so from my dy dx just now, okay, from my dy dx just now, I can actually bring out 1 plus x squared. So this part of 1 plus x squared, I'm going to change with y over dy. Okay, I changed already. Okay, so I change y over dy dx. Now that it is ready, the next thing that I'm going to do is bring this dy dx and multiply. I will need to get rid of this denominator. So I multiply with dy dx. Voila! It is almost the same already there, but it is not exactly the same yet. Okay, in SDPM, when you do this type of question, it has to look exactly the same. So you need to do one more step, just exchange the place and write there shown as needed in the question. Good? Any question to ask? No? If no, we get into this question. Okay, like I say, we have question where we need the application. We are going to go other than the proving, other than just now that show the d squared y, the second derivative question. We also have question like this. Okay, so let's see what we need here. We have a square root, so I prepare the square root, I pull out the square root and become 1 over 2. I have an exponent, so which means I need the exponent formula, I need the cos inverse formula, and I need a composite formula. So that's the formula that I have. I'm going to fill it one by one. So because the composite comes first, because the whole thing is 1 over 2, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write like index 1 over 2, and then I have the cos, I copy, then index minus 1. Okay, this is only for the composite part, which means is this purple formula. Next thing is I'm going to do the exponent. This exponent might give you, every time you differentiate exponent, you are going to get exponent gx. Means you're going to copy the same thing, so I'm going to copy that exponent. This part here. Okay, the outside I already done in front here. So I'm going to copy this whole thing over here. Follow this blue formula. All right. And then I'm going to differentiate, because according to exponent, if they have a function for the exponent, which I have cos inverse x, I'm going to differentiate cos inverse x and get this formula. Okay, so I'm going to inverse that and get that formula. So 3 parts of the question using these 3 formulas. Any problem? If okay, tell me okay. If not, I might think I have lost you all. Okay? Everybody okay over there? Okay, now I need to beautify this. So I just beautify this, and the question asks for the equation of gradient. Therefore, that is my equation of gradient. So I'm done for this question. Number 8. Still got 2 more questions. Don't know can catch up or not. Right, so this is going to be the equation of gradient. If they want equation of tangent or equation of normal, you have to do extra. But this only want the equation of gradient. So dy dx, or the differentiation of the function, is actually given you the equation of gradient. Okay, Number 9. Right. Application question. I have a particle move along the x-axis at the position of t bigger than 0. The time is t bigger than 0. They gave you the function. I copy down the function and I beautify it first. And I need to know what I need. Okay. Inside the question, they say velocity. Okay. So I need to find the velocity and the particle when t equals to 16. That is the target question. I need to know what's my target question. So I prepare the tangent and then this part here. So I just prepare it. So I have to know velocity is dx dt, right? So I will derive the x and to time, all right? If you learn this in your Form 5 at maths, okay? The velocity is dv dt, so we will fill in the dv dt using the formula for tangent, so 1 over 1 plus, so the function is the square root of t, so I just copy it down. Okay, and then I have this part here, I have to derive and put it there. All right, finish already, I beautify it, right? I beautify it, and then I'm going to move to the next question. Okay, now, then you will ask me, teacher, this one squared, okay? This one squared, I will get the t only, okay? This denominator, I will bring down, that is the square root over there. Okay, so I'm done with that. Then I have my t equals to 16, and I have this, put in, and voila, I got my answer. But can you tell me why my square root of 16 got no plus minus for this case? Please hit the chat box. Tell me why this time I don't have plus minus 16. Yes? Anybody got answer? Why I don't have plus minus 16? Anybody understand the concept? Why? Just because just now I told you square root of 2, square root of 4 plus minus 2, square root of course got modulus. But why this time my answer is 1 over 136. I didn't use the plus minus sign. Why? Anybody? Come on, come on. I'm sure you know. Yes? Anybody want to tell me why I didn't use plus minus? I still got one more question, you know. Yes, very good. You understand the concept. Two things. One is time. We can't go backwards on time. And the second thing, it is already mentioned. Yes, Jia Haosing. It is already mentioned that the t given is bigger or equals to 0. Two clues. One is the time cannot be negative. That is for sure. And second thing, the t is already mentioned bigger than 0. So we are going to use the positive sign. And then we will do a conclusion for this question. All right. Now, if you notice, this question have no units. So when you answer the question the time, there is no need to put any units. But if the question come with units, okay, please put the unit along with your answer. Your A1 is over here. Okay, this is your A1. The conclusion of the question is your A1. Okay, here is your M1. So make sure you write the conclusion of the question. Conclude the question. If there is unit, please write in the unit. If there is no units, then you can leave it as so. Okay, remember, if the question got units, please write the unit. Okay, I want to ask permission from you all. Is it okay I do one more question? If yes, please tell me yes. If not, I will end the class. Is it okay? My next question. Let you see the next question. Voila. That's my next question. Do you want to learn about this question or no? If yes, please tell me yes. If no, please tell no. Because we are time's up. If you want, I need your permission to continue. Yes, you want to continue or not for this question? Or you want to try the question by yourself? Anybody want to respond? Yes, yes, yes. 2 yes? The others don't want? Okay, okay. All right. Great, great, great. If you want, I will continue. Thank you for your permission. Let's see. This question says a winch on a loading dock is using to drag a container. So for this type of question, you always need a structure. You need the picture because without a picture, you cannot solve the question. Okay, so what you need to do is I have a container and I have the ground. So the container and the ground. But then I need to know what is this winch? What exactly winch is? If you are doing this at home, you can actually find the using your Google. Okay, Mr. Google have everything. You type in winch and then come out. Voila! All this, all the pictures. Okay, but if it is during exam, you don't know what is a winch, so you have to imagine the picture. Okay, you need to imagine the picture. But one thing I can tell you, if exam the time, if you do a lot of this question, you will like kind of understand. Most of the time, the question have clues. Okay, so they say the winch is loading the log and they are pulling something. So this is our winch. So you can imagine it pull. Okay, sound effect come out already. Okay, the sound. Don't mind my sound effect. Okay, so it will be pulling the thing like this. Okay, the winch just now will be pulling this container. So somebody will be operating the machine and it will pull going that side. So this angle will change. The winch, the cable will be going. See, this time comes with a unit. So this cable will be going at 2 meters per second and is 5 meters above the ground. So whatever winch they are using is 5 meters above the ground. Okay, then at what rate is the angle between the cable and the ground changing? So that is the clue of the question. Okay, so the key target question is the rate of angle. Okay, rate of angle means is your d theta dt. Hello, Cikgu Yani. Thank you for joining us. Okay, you guys can check out Cikgu Yani's channel. She has very good content in her channel too. Cikgu Yani, you can drop inside the chat box and see what you teach and everything so that the students can recognize you. Okay, they can find you there. Right, so we have the rate of change. Over here, d theta is something you need inside the question. D theta over dt equals to what? I don't know. And then when they tell you changing when the x, because just now the cable here, the x is 10 meter. That is what you need. Okay, so let's prepare the question. According to this picture that I sketched out, you know already. Okay, all right, you know already. Thank you, Teacher Yani. Okay, you know already sine theta is 5 over x. Okay, according to this picture, opposite over your hypotenuse. So you have all this. All right, but you want is theta. You want d theta over dt. So d theta over dt, you need your theta. Okay, so you have theta equals to the inverse sine. Voila, the inverse sine. The one that we are going to study today is our inverse sine of 5 over x. So this is our function. Okay, so I'm not going to apply. So what you are going to do, another one is they gave you the cable 2 meter per second. So dx dt is 2 meter per second. So you have all the details prepared beforehand. When you do application like this, you have to make sure you get the picture, you get the details, you get all the formula, you collect all, and you prepare it there first. Okay, now with all that in mind, we are going to go one by one. Target question, d theta dt, but I have theta and x. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to need the chain rule because d theta dt, I need d theta dx times dx dt. This one I have 2 meter per second. This one, I only have the theta. I don't have d theta dx. So I'm going to prepare my d theta dx. So I prepare my d theta dx and I'm going to apply the formula. I'm not going to go detail on that. So I'm going to apply the formula for d theta dx, and then I'm going to rearrange. Okay, so I'm going to rearrange properly. So this one got negative, so this x squared will come down. This one will be on top, and this one will be here. So I'm done. Okay, I'm done preparing. So I have my details. D theta dt can come out already. Okay, so d theta dx is the one that you prepared. Then dx dt is the one that they gave you in the question. And d theta dt is out. So I just beautify it. Okay, but my question is not done yet. Yes, because inside the question, this is only part of the target question. Just now I say I want d theta dt and I want part of it when x is equals to 10. So what is going to happen when x is equals to 10? I put it inside my d theta dt, and then I put in the 10. Voila, my answer is out. Not finished. One more conclusion with the unit there. Yay, I'm done. Thank you for joining me today. And here I would like to say bye-bye, and I will see you next week in Cikgu Zana's channel for implicit differentiation. Bye. Thank you so much. And the link schedule is there. Back to you, Cikgu Eileen. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Teacher Eileen, back to you.
Thank you, Teacher Im. So we have reached the end of today's session. So congratulations to those who are able to follow our session from the beginning till the end. So before we end our session today, so can all of you please stop posting your comment for a minute and click the subscribe button and activate the bell icon so that you will not miss the next class session. And then if you find the lesson was beneficial, click like and share to your friends on your social media, spread and share the goodness. So now the link for the certificate is in the chat box. It is given as a token of thank you for your dedication in joining the free online class today. So please take note the link will end in 30 minutes after this live. Make sure to use the EDD email only to log in. Incorrect email used will not be entertained. If you haven't got one, please apply. And so, once again, I would like to thank all the students for joining today. Please share this free tuition class to your friends and teachers all over Malaysia. This is a collective effort from all the teachers throughout Malaysia for all the students throughout the country. Thank you too for being a YouTuber Academy supporter too. So I think that's all for now. See you in another session. Remember the hashtag bermula percuma, selamanya percuma. So stay safe till we meet again next week, same day, same time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye.
Tuisyen online percuma. Tuisyen online percuma. Layari www.academyyoutuber bagi mengikuti tuisyen online secara percuma. Prasekolah, sekolah rendah, sekolah menengah, semua ada di Akademi YouTuber. Rujuk jadual di laman sesawang www.academyyoutuber.com. Semoga masa terluang anak-anak anda diisi dengan sebaiknya. Tuisyen online percuma mestilah Akademi YouTuber.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber.